know what's strange about England? You can travel from one city to another, Leeds, Manchester, Newcastle, Sheffield, and suddenly the streets all start looking familiar. Rows and rows of brick houses all joined together, bay windows and chimneys everywhere. I'm talking about Victorian terraced housing. But here's the interesting part. These terraced housing aren't everywhere in England. Some places are packed with them and others barely have any. So why did Victorian terrace houses appear in certain areas? What do they tell us about geography, industry, and the ordinary people who lived there? Hello, I'm Amy. I'm on a mission to discover what makes England so special. Because let's face it, England is a little bit divided at the moment. So instead of focusing on all the negative sides, I want to start learning about the more positive sides. I want to explore the side of England that doesn't necessarily make it into the headlines, the history hidden in everyday places, our language, the landscape around us, and most importantly, the ordinary people that shaped the England we know today. I've got loads of videos planned, so if that sounds like your kind of thing, hit the subscribe button. Before the Industrial Revolution, most people lived in small villages or small market towns. People lived in cottages, farmhouses, inns and small clusters of homes. Then everything changed. Coal, steam engines, factories. A little thing called the Industrial Revolution happened and people moved for work, which meant housing was needed desperately and fast. Terrace houses were the popular choice for the growing populations. A terrace house is described as properties connecting directly to each other in a row, sharing a party wall. Terraces exploded in popularity in places tied to industry. Places like Sheffield, Manchester, Liverpool and Leeds were major players during the industrial boom. These places had the ingredients industry needed. Coal underground, rivers and canals, later railways, and a huge demand for labour. Factories attracted workers, and workers needed homes. And terrace houses became the cheapest and fastest way of building homes close together. Terrace houses weren't just copied and pasted, they adapted to the land. Take Sheffield, for instance. It's incredibly hilly. I live near Sheffield, so I know this. So you get terraces climbing steep slopes, twisting round the valleys, with strange split-level streets and little alleyways called ginnels or snickets. Victorian terraces weren't designed as charming heritage homes. They were practical. Industrial Britain needed lots of new homes fast. So everyone mucked in. Factory owners, landowners, builders and investors all got stuck in. That's why terrace houses often repeat the same design over and over again. Same doors, same windows, same layout. Fast, cheap and efficient, but not always terrible. Many Victorian terraces were often surprisingly solid, with some of those homes still proudly standing 150 years later. Victorian terrace housing was really about the ordinary people. Not kings, not palaces, not aristocrats. The workers, the ordinary man. We've got the miners, the steel workers, the mill workers, the dock workers, the railway workers, the mothers raising children in tiny kitchens, kids playing together in the street, and this meant communities grew. People borrowed sugar through the wall. Women scrubbed the front steps together. Children moved between houses, almost like one giant extended family. Terraces created incredibly dense social groups. You were never really alone. Sometimes that meant warmth and support. Sometimes it meant zero privacy and gossip. One thing you may notice is Northern England has far more Victorian terrace houses than the South. That's largely because the Industrial Revolution hit the North and the Midlands the hardest. Heavy industry concentrated there. Thousands of working class people arrived quickly to work. So London has terrace houses too, of course. Loads of them. But often they were developed differently and became more varied over time. Meanwhile, northern industrial towns became a sea of brick terraces because entire economies depended on mass labour. What's funny is many terraces were seen as outdated and undesirable, particularly after World War I. By the mid-20th century, lots were demolished. Many were destroyed in World War II. Councils replaced them with flats or new estates. But in modern day, people love terrace houses. And not just because they're affordable, they feel human and they connect us with the working class roots of England. So next time you walk through an English terrace street, you're not just looking at houses, you're looking at the story of ordinary working people who built modern England, one brick at a time. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the subscribe button, because sometimes the most ordinary things tell the biggest stories.